Hello, this is Tenacious Earl, and we are back here in the little room that I have here for some more tabletop sporting action. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. Haven't heard from me a whole lot here in the last few days. Life gets busy, all that kind of stuff. But gonna play this game here. I'm gonna show you first how the table stands at the moment. So this is given some of the results that have already happened. As you can see, Manchester United has gone top of the table with 7 points. If we look over here at recent results, they defeated Bromwich Albion 2-0. We had a 1-1 draw between Brighton and Hove Albion and Arsenal, as well as Huddersfield Town and Leicester City. They had a 0-0 draw. And also 0-0 with Watford and Newcastle. So a little bit of low scoring here in week 3 so far. You can see we also have Liverpool and Manchester City to play here at some point. But at the moment, I wanted to do a couple of teams that I haven't played before, and I had already done Liverpool once. So that's where I just wanted to try and go a little bit different. So this is going to be Crystal Palace and Stoke City. As you can see here, Crystal Palace is actually they are tied for first in my own bookkeeping here because I didn't enter in the scores. When I determine which places to use, I don't enter in the scores except for games that have happened already chronologically. So the first game that was 0-0, that had happened because it was earlier in the day in virtual land. But in this case, we wouldn't have, Manchester United and West Brom, they would be playing at the same time as this game. So I'm trying to kind of approach things from chronologically correct, from those kinds of approaches, as opposed to kind of knowing everything kind of ahead of time, because it's just I figure that's the way it is. So anyway, you can see Manchester United 1, and Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Tottenham 2. Then tied for 5th are Newcastle United, Brighton, and Leicester City. You got to go down to tied for 8th for Liverpool and Arsenal. And then you've got Burnley and Manchester City below that. So just some early season score effects. Just the way the matchups work out somehow early in the season cause those kinds of things to come about. But, that's what I need. Just a moment here. I'm doing a little bit of maneuvering. Okay. Yeah, so Crystal Palace being in second, tied for first in their own minds in this game against Stoke City, who were tied for 18, right at the bottom. Crystal Palace is going to go with 5 changes for this game. Try to keep their players relatively fresh as they go forward. That was based off of my roles, which I've started using the fast action cards. I rearranged all of my lineup and resolution to be able to use the cards, use the basically the 2 dice roll, because I don't know. I guess I'm not so keen on the dice that come with this game. It seems like there's a lot of high rolls, but anyway, I don't think that's necessarily the case. But I guess perception's everything. So while Stoke, they are going with 3 changes. As far as when I mean changes, I mean players in the lineup. But let me see. Anything else? Well, I guess we should get going here. I don't want to take too much more time covering this. I'm going to use Crystal Palace with a 4-4-2, kind of an average attacking style. And the Potters of Stoke City, they're going to be using a more defensive posture. It's called 4-5-1. So we'll see how that works out for them. But in any event, I'm going to put it back here to the open screen, and I'm going to readjust my camera. So be right back. Okay, so this is the general setup that I use here on the channel. Kind of tough to see everything, but that's the way it's going to go in this game. Not much I can do about it. So for Crystal Palace, what they're going to be using is they use a formation in general that you would call 4-4-2, although they have 5 guys that are rated as defenders in the game in the various positions. That is because they're using Jeffrey Schlupp as a left midfielder instead of a defender. So, and they also have Wilfried Zaha, who is listed as a midfielder, but he is very proficient in the attack. He's probably more of a forward than anything. So the lineup is Zaha, and then Andros Townsend. Christian Benteke is going to sit out this one. That's one of the changes. Luka Milivojevic is center midfield with Johan Kabay, and then the wide midfielders are Schlupp and MacArthur on the left and right, respectively. And then on the back line, you're going to have Van Aanholt on the left, Fosu Mensah on the right, and Tompkins and Delaney in the middle. And then for Stoke City, they play with a 5-man back line, typically. So what we had to do here, their main forward is going to be Peter Crouch. So what it is basically a 5, or if you would, a 3-4-3, or a 5-5-2-3, if you want to call it right. 5. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it does. Yeah, because there's also the goalkeeper. 5-2-3, if you want to call it that, but you would usually call it a 3-4-3 probably. With up front, it's going to be Peter Crouch as the primary forward, and then wingers are going to be Xherdan Shaqiri and Amame Biram Diouf. And then you've got as your wingers Eric Peters and let's see, I think Tom Edwards is who I had as the other wingback. Then you had in the middle of the park, you have Joe Allen and Darren Fletcher. Fletcher, of course, once with Manchester United. I'm not a Manchester United fan, but I remember him from back then. And then you have in your defense of 3, you're going to have Zuma, Shawcross, and Jeff Cameron, the American. So, and then in goal will be Lee Grant, getting the day off as Jack Butland, and Speroni for Crystal Palace instead of Wayne Hennessy. So, I am going to use the dice to determine who's going to kick off. That's the lower of the dice. It's going to be the home side will be Palace. Okay, so Palace and Stoke. So also Crystal Palace, they have sufficient guys, sufficient numbers in terms of the defensive numbers in order to keep their defensive rating. Same goes for Stoke. there's no problem with them losing any points at the moment. So for defense, so it's 3 for Crystal Palace, 1 for Stoke City. So they Crystal Palace should get the ball a fair amount without having to check loose ball. But the team ratings are 3 for Palace and 2 for Stoke. So in that regard as well, Crystal Palace should get a good, say about maybe 55 to 60% of the loose balls over Stoke. And then for clutch points, Crystal Palace has 5, Stoke City has 3. So Crystal Palace kicks off, and play after the first minute is an E, and it's with player 7, James Tompkins. And again, basically a middle-of-the-road tactic from Crystal Palace as far as trying to attack. Stoke is going to go defensive, so we'll see how that plays out for both these teams. So Tompkins in E, that's a 43, and so that leads to a foul by Tompkins. He commits a foul. Player 3, the third most foul suffered player, and that's going to be Joe Allen, is the one who gets fouled. And 21 on Tompkins' card is going to be a yellow card right out of the gate. So, first minute, a bad tackle from Tompkins, and he ends up drawing a yellow card. The referee trying to control the play here, so trying to keep it from getting out of hand. Probably a pretty bad tackle there in the first minute to get a yellow card. Maybe should have been red. You never know. So also for the teams, the specialists as far as free kicks, direct kicks are going to be in corner kicks, free kicks and corner kicks are going to be Milivojevic for Crystal Palace and Xherdan Shaqiri for Stoke. So Shaqiri will take the free kick in X. That is a lob down into B, and it will be controlled by player 2. That's Doof. So Mame Biram Doof with it, 61 in B. That's 34, and that leads to defense. So what kind of defensive effort will Crystal Palace bring? 52 is going to be a header chance in zone X. What that means is that if Stoke, which we're going to look off at the loose ball chart here, if it's L, it'll be Stoke. If it's H, it will be Crystal Palace. If it is the team retaining possession, it's in X or in another zone if it comes up off the defensive chart with that. If it's H, or if it's the team that's in defense, then they automatically get it in X. So it is L, so they will keep it in X, and it'll be 22. Or not 22, it'll be player 5. So in the 4th minute, it's going to be Zuma in X, and that's 45. 22 in X is going to be another defensive chance for Palace, and that is a 13 with a 3, so that's a steal straight to B. So they're immediately going to get the ball into zone B, and it's going to be with James MacArthur, so presumably out wide to the right. 55 in zone B. That is a 30. Well, that's going to be a pass to E, and it'll pass around, and it's going to come back to MacArthur in E. And against a 4-5-1 tactic, they're not going to try and get it to the player of choice. So MacArthur again, 42. So it's 38 in E. Right? Yes. 38 in E. That's a header to D. We look at the loose ball chart, and it goes to the lower. So that means that Stoke City wins it. And that's going to go to X6 because it's change of possession. So X6, it's going to be Shawcross. 55 in X. That's 23. It's going to be more defense. And so the defense, 64 by Crystal Palace. That's a block, and the ball will end up in F, and it will go. And it's basically Stoke's F, which is X for Crystal Palace, and they are able to win it back from the H on the chart. So that goes to X, and that'll be 5. So Johan Cabaye Controls in Zone X. 44, that's a 5 in Zone X. So that means if we look over here on the chart, that's D3. So it's going to be Milivojevic in D. 31, 27 in D is going to be a defensive chance. Now, Stoke is 1, but that's 15. That's going to be a steal to D. So a low number will help even the defensive team. So steal to D, 7. So Fletcher, 26 in D. So it's 41. 26 in D is a pass to F, 6. So that's going to be Shawcross. 21 is 34, and F is going to be defensive chance. 11th minute right now. So 36, it's going to be a header chance in D. The higher team gets it. So who gets it next? It'll be Tompkins. That's a 1 in X. It's going to be a pass to B1. So Zaha and B. 63, and he fouls. Commits a foul, and that will mean possession changes over. And who did he foul? 6. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be Darren Fletcher, and will Zaha pick up a card here? 25. No, he does not. Okay, take it. We're in the 13th minute. No chances as of yet. Free kick in X, D, 10. That's Tom Edwards in D. 24. So it's 64, which is 24 in D, which is going to be E6. Shawcross is in E. 11 in E2. That's a pass to A1. So Shaqiri in A. 45, that's 39 in A. It's going to be a defensive chance. Well, that was a great opportunity, but a lunging chance here on defense from Crystal Palace. They get it in, it goes to F, and they retain possession. So that chance snuffed out. So in X, it will be player 7, Tompkins. 51 comes to 43, and that's out of bounds. So 16th minute. Still nothing cooking yet. The throw-in goes to E4 for Stoke. Peter Crouch in E. 28 in E is going to be defense. So Crouch loses it. Block X. And the low gets it. So low will keep it in X. That's Stoke. X8. Peters in X. 33. If it weren't for it being a defender, it would be, that would be a good roll, a double, but instead it's listed as 46, which is out of bounds, and ball turns over to Palace. All right, so another double. Most of these games, the doubles have been coming on all of these throw-ins and things like that. It really makes it tough. X, 10. So it's going to be Damian Delaney. There's 11 in X. That's 30. That's a defensive chance. So 21 is going to be a steal to E for Stoke. Stoke holding it together here. Steal to E. It's going to go to E9. That is Jeff Cameron. 23 for him. 13 goes to 23. In E, going to be F and Fletcher. 46, that's out of bounds. So another throw in. We're in the 21st minute. X3. Milivojevic in X. 11, that's 2 in X is going to be B2. Townsend picks it up in B. 52, 28 in B. It's going to be D2. Townsend again in D. 26. That's a foul in D. So he gets fouled. Foul suffered. Committed by player 4. 1. Mame Biram Doof. And 23 is not going to be a card. They will get a free kick from D. So Milivojevic. It's a pass to B. And player 6, Van Aanholt. 39 in B is going to be a defensive chance, so can't get anything going here. And so that's 44. That's a header to X. Retained. So Palace keeps it, an X with Fosu Mensah. 54 in X. That's a special result. 42. Okay, the current player passes to an open player 1. So it's Fosu Mensah, right? To player 1, which is Zaha. Fakes out the goalkeeper and shoots a slow shot towards the corner of the net. Last player makes a sliding lunge toward the ball. Make an area X roll to determine the identity of the player. Okay, so what we need to do is we're going to turn over a card that's whoever's in X. If it's a defender, it's cleared. If it's a forward or a midfielder, it's a goal. So this would be Zaha. Will it go in? It's player 3. Player 3 is Joe Allen's midfielder. That is a shot on goal and a goal by Zaha. Assist from Fosu. Well, actually, we're going to do the other way. That is a goal. Crystal Palace takes a 1-0 lead off the special result chart. And so we need to look at player ID 7 for assist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll be Schlupp with the assist. And that is in the 25th minute. Wilfried Zaha gets slipped through by Schlupp. Oh, yeah, that's the way we're going to do that. Makes it 1-0. So at least we get a goal. I've had a bunch of goalless games this round, so it's nice to at least get a goal. They're going to stay with the teams this way. I think Stoke feels like they have a pretty decent shot to keep it close if they keep it defensive. So kickoff E 5. So Zuma in E. 16 is 38, and E is going to be a header to D. Won by the lower team. That's Stoke. It goes to D4. That'll be Crouch in D. If he could get a shot off here, that would be really helpful for them. 23, nope. And he instead fouls the opposition. So suffered by player ID 8. 11, 10, 9, 8. Tompkins, one that suffered, and Crouch. Ooh, he gets a yellow and very close to a red card. So Crouch in the 27th minute. Each team with a yellow now. Tompkins, of course, getting one in the very first minute. But that will lead to a free kick for the Eagles. So your free kick to C. 1. So that's going to be Zaha, the goal scorer, in C. 51. That is a 9 in C, which will be a pass to A. Milivojevic. I got to avoid a foul here. 61, 23 in C. Or no, 23 in A. That's C1. Zaha in C. 25. That's 8 in C. That's another pass into A. Completed the Townsend. Can he turn and shoot here? 42, no. It's going to be 21 in A. That's B2. So Townsend gets it again just outside the zone. 65. That's a foul in B. Foul committed. 65 for Townsend is 49. And so that is a foul suffered. And that's going to be a free kick in great territory for them to possibly make it 2-0. Player ID 1 for fouls committed. That will be Peters. And Peters, he is going to go in the book too. Things getting a little chippy here. 30th minute, yellow card. So now a free kick for Milivojevic from B. That is a shot. There's an S right here if you can see that. I don't know how good, well, it's coming in here, but you can see it if we move it up close. There's a shot for Milivojevic. Now his shot on goal rating is 33. Add 3 since he's in B. That makes it 36. Can he put a shot on target? He does. Shot on goal. And now it's up to Lee Grant to make the save. Here is his card. There's a lot of 10s on it. Look at that. There's a lot of 10s. And it's 36. And 36 is going to be a save and a goalkeeper outlet. So Grant makes the save and starts the play the other way. That's outlet to X. 7. So Fletcher, they keep it close. 1-0 Palace, and they have it with Fletcher and X. Well, 45 and X is out of bounds. So since we have an out of bounds here, and we're past the 30th minute, we're going to do a quick reshuffle. So hope everybody's weekend has been great. Not too much more in it here, but I just wanted to stream one here because I've been doing some other things with my laptop, and so it's kind of nice to stream and go. I don't know if anybody's here in the room. Oh boy, see that's. When I start bumping, it starts wanting to do that auto focus, but let's see if I can fix this. All right, that seems to help some. So I've been getting back into a little bit of like flight simulation, so all right, I'm just going to go ahead and go with it from here. I did a few shuffles, and so it's a throw-in for Crystal Palace in the 32nd minute. Throw into D, 2, so Townsend and D. 35, that's a defensive chance. So Stoke will try to get it back. They're a 1. So that's a header into X, capped by the high side. So that's Palace. X4. All right, so MacArthur and X, 54. That's another special chance. So 64. Pass to D, player's choice. Okay. We will send it to Zaha in D. 45. That's 22 in D is going to be a pass to D7. So out to the defender Tompkins. D. So 16. 28 in D is going to be a defensive chance. Okay, 25, steal to X, so Stoke is able to start the counter, gets it to Zuma in area X, and he suffers a foul there. So let's see, who is this going to be on for Crystal Palace? Player ID 4, 2, James MacArthur, and as long as it's not an 11, it's 21. That is going to be a yellow card, so we got some yellows here. This is the 37th minute. 4 cards in the game. And now a 37th minute free kick for Shaqiri in X. Goes down to B. 6. So Shawcross in B. 24. It's 22 in B. It's going to be a completed pass to Doof in C, out on the wing. And he is fouled in C. So that should lead to a potential free kick opportunity committed by Milivojevic. And he gets a yellow. So tempers are starting to flare a little bit. Referee trying to gain control. But so now in 39th, going to be free kick. Shaqiri in C. Pass to B. 6. So not the greatest of opportunities there. Shawcross in B. It's 22 in B is not too bad. That's C2 again. Doof in C. 36. 38 in C is going to be a defensive chance. So a lot of possession there in the last 5 minutes for Stoke, but then they lose it. And a steal right to B. So back with it, Palace. See if they can be incisive with this. B4. That's MacArthur and B. 34 is 30. That's E4. So MacArthur backs out to E. That's a special result again. Well, that is not going to happen a second time. So we're going to play the next card. I'm not backing up. That 42 came up once before, and that's due to a not so good shuffle. Actually, well, I'm not going to do it that way. Here's the 42 card. I'm going to put it back on top. I'm going to roll the dice for it. Seems a little shady to me. So now it's 21. Team with the highest team rating gains control, loose ball, and charges forward. A long cross accidentally headed in the wrong direction by defender. Own goal. Help. Okay, well, Stoke gets it there too. I guess the other way, if I were to play it the right way, the way that I was playing it before, that is as a cause of is caused by the bad shuffle. At least I feel like they had a better chance. This has no chance of not being a goal. So let's go back to the original way. It's going to be 42. So that is again a pass to Zaha from MacArthur. It's going to the post, and it's whoever comes up in X. And it's 3, and that is Allen again. Well, there you go. See, that really sucks. That really sucks. I mean, it's tough to shuffle these cards. There. Well, that was 21. Let's take 21. So 21 is in X is 5. And 5 is Zuma, who is a defender. I'm going to call that. We're not going to take. So that's a shot on goal and save. Well, it's not, but that's not a save. That's a block. So it's not even a shot on goal. But we're going to do it that way. Now, what happens here? Corner kick. Okay. So you might say, what are you doing, Earl? Okay. I'm trying to find a way to give the benefit of the doubt for the fact that I think it's kind of tough to randomize these cards every time. And I had earlier in the game I had the 54, which there aren't too many of these kinds of special cases where you have a goal come up or a very good chance at a goal. But 42 is next the first time, and it was next here. And then the next card after that before was this one because it led me to three player 3 and X, which was a midfielder, so it's going to give an automatic goal again. All right. Changing my mind again. See, it's okay. It's all right. We're changing our minds. I'm going to give the own goal. I'm going to go with what I originally rolled here. Say it's good. It's going to be an own goal. And then what do you have to do to figure out who it's off of? Foul committed. So we'll use this one. It's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be Shawcross. And that is in 42 minute. $2-0 Palace. That's how I'm going to do it. So, yeah, the special result thing's a little weird. All right, so it's 2-0. They're going to limp into the half here. It's a kickoff to D2 for Stoke. Doof and D 46. That's 49, which is a foul suffered again by Doof. Committed by player 7. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Schlupp commits a foul. Will there be another card here? 15. Yes, sir. Schlupp gets one now. So a free kick by Shaqiri and D. That's going to be a pass to C. 1. Shaqiri and C. 63. And he fouls. Foul committed by Shaqiri. Suffered by Zaha. No card this time, but a free kick in X. I'm trying to get to the half here. There's C2. Townsend and C, 51. That's 45 out of bounds. All right, let's take a look here. Let's roll one die. That's 3. We're doing 3 minutes of stoppage time here, so throw in E2. Ooh, so 2 is Doof. In E is going to be 11. Oh, it's A1. If they had changed tactics by now, they would have gotten a shot there. So Shaqiri and A, 45. That's 39, and A is going to be defense. 63 blocking to F. Won by the higher team. That's Crystal Palace. X5. Kabai and X, 53. 23 and X, that's defense. That's going to end the half. So 2-0 is your halftime score. Goals by Zaha and then an own goal by Shawcross. Hi, Al. Good to see you there, brother. Hope things are happening with you. I'm sure things are happening, but, you know, happening in a good way as opposed to a not so good way. Okay, well, Stoke, they're going to go for it here. It may backfire, but we're going to do a little bit of score effect here. They're going to take in the second half. They're going to take a rather optimistic approach here. So they're going to go 4-3-3, and Palace is going to stay 4-4-2. So only 2 shots registered, and both of them on target, and both by Crystal Palace. Well, actually, no, 2 shots on goal. No shots on goal for Stoke, and only one of the two went in. The other one was an own goal. So, real quick, I'll get the possession here. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 20, 30, 40. So 48 passes or 48 cells filled up for Stoke out of 96. So that'll be, both of them had equal possession, 48 each. Stoke will get possession to start. And they're going to make a halftime substitution. Let's see. I don't think I answered you, Al. I'm good, but trying to crank out a game here. So they're gonna go away from their 5-man defense. They're going to pull Tom Edwards and bring in Choupo-Moting, Cameroonian winger. See if he can change the game at all here. Palace looking for a 3-0 start to the season, 3-0-0. See, I always cross off the players that are coming out. Minus 46 minute. Just came in. Yep. All right, so we're going to get going here. Try to get through this in the next half an hour or so. Kickoff E for Stoke. Zone E with player 2, so Doof. In E, 44. It's a 5 in E. That is going to bring about a shot. So immediately this will get them potentially a shot here. But it's an area E, so not a great opportunity. So you subtract 3, 26, 25, 24, 26. So that's a missed shot for Doof. And then we look at the missed shot, and it's wide, and it's a goal kick. So goal kick for Crystal Palace. X 8. So right around midfield, they're back for, well, actually for back, they'd be attacking this way based on. So 8 is Schlupp. And 11 in X, that's going to be a nice pass to B for Townsend. 52. So 28 in B is a pass to C3. So Milivojevic in C. 25, that's 40 in C. That'll be a defensive chance. 35, and it goes to the lower team, so it's X for the lower team. X2. So Doof and X. 62. That's 22 and X. That's going to be pass around the back. Peters, 15. 22 and X is same. I'll keep possession in X. 24. That's 25. That's back to defense. So that's a 41, and they will keep that. So 41 was a header into D. So Stoke will keep it in D with player 4. That'll be Joe Allen. 33. That's a 3 in D. That'll be a shot for him. No change. It came from Peters, who's a 1. So 21 or below would get them a shot on goal. It's 36, so that's a missed shot. Can they get a corner kick out of it? Nope, that's a goalkeeper outlet. So Speroni outlets it to F6. Van Aanholt. Dutch defender in F, 66 in F. That is actually going to be a shot for Van Aanholt, but it's going to be subtract 5 from it. So 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. And that's going to be a missed shot for Van Aanholt. They get a corner out of it. Yes, it is. It's going to deflect out for a corner. Hi, Alan. Oh, I should have mentioned. It's 2-0 Crystal Palace. Up on Stoke City, a Zaha goal and an own goal by Shawcross. Had it 2-0 at half, and there's a corner kick coming. Going to be taken by Milivojevic. So the corner kick, he's an A corner kick guy. Pass to A, shot on goal. Who's going to be the pass to? Is going to be 2, Townsend. And it's a shot on goal. Another chance for Grant here. Oh, kind of tough to see. 43, that's a goal. It is in. He cannot get to it. And that makes it 3-0 for Palace. Townsend gets on the score sheet, and this is going to be a rough one. 55th minute. And we will give the assist to Milivojevic. 3-0. Hey, Alabobs. So if you get to see the early part of the video, I have some scores there. We also have Liverpool and Manchester City to play. But I hated to do a second. I don't like doing the same teams extremely often. We already did one Liverpool. But Stoke here is getting drubbed 3-0 and basically had to turn them offensive. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to turn. Well, I'll leave. Hey, Palace doesn't mind. They'll give up a goal to Stoke if they can keep pounding away. So kickoff E5. So Crouch and E31. That's a 23. That'll be a pass to Allen in E. Joe Allen, 61, leads to 28 in E. That's a pass to Fletcher in X, so they're at least getting some possession here. 44. Fletcher, that's not going to get the job done. That'll be chased down by the defense, but they'll have a chance to win that back. It's a block to D, but the high team gets it, and that is Crystal Palace. So into X, it'll be 10. So that's Damian Delaney, 32 for Delaney and X. 34, that's another defensive chance. It's a blocked D, and high keeps it. So D7, Tompkins in D. 52, 37 in D is another defensive chance here. 43 at header F. High team keeps it. F4, MacArthur. And F54. Now there is another special result. 41 this time, offside for that's MacArthur. So it's going to go back to Stoke. Let's see. Palace is going to make a change here. They're going to bring in. I'm going to remove Townsend and bring in C.Y. Lee, Chung Young Lee, midfielder. And he's going to go way down at the end of the line here. He'll go ahead of Delaney in the 9 hole. All right, so not as bad as Chelsea today. Well, yeah, Chelsea, they're in tatters, so. But I guess that's the way it goes. They've had a good run of it here, but maybe they have to reload a little bit. I guess it depends on if Abramovich is going to keep them going or not. So I assume he is. I assume he has plenty of money, but he's a Russian oligarch. I guess he could treasure his money more. Okay, so a throw in. No, it's offside, indirect kick. So D1. So Shaqiri and D. If he can get a double number, that'd be good, but it's not. 25 in D. It's going to be a pass to D3. Choupo-Moting. 35 in D is 38. All right, defensive check there. Defensive 3. 12. Ooh, boy, steal to B. So maybe another chance here for the Eagles. B9. It's going to be Lee just in the game. No, it's going to be out of bounds, right? Yes. So the Potters will see if they can spearhead some offense here. They're going to go with Berahino. Or Berahino. Probably that's what it is, not Berahino. That's okay. Let's see who they're going to take out here. They're going to get rid of Darren Fletcher in the 65th minute. Bring on Berahino. Forward 1-1. And we'll see if he can have any influence on the play here. Oh, and since it's an out of bounds, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle again. So the earlier deal with the own goal, a little bit of, I don't know. The shuffling of these cards isn't the easiest, and I got a special result which came up as a second special result, which I wasn't thrilled about. I mean, it was a repeat, which sometimes these special results are very advantageous for either team, and it was advantageous for, sometimes it's just nothing, and sometimes it's slightly disadvantageous. This one was a second one that Palace really benefited from, and so I got a little bit indignant about it, or not indignant, I don't know what the word is that I want to use. I wasn't thrilled about that, so then I rolled the dice instead to take a different result, and that turned into the own goal. So either way, Stoke was going to get theirs in that situation, so I should have just accepted it and said, man, that's 2 times that you have weird stuff happening, but that's okay. Try to shuffle these things, but it seems like they stick together some. All right, so throw in for Stoke. D5. So Crouch and D. Can he get a shot away here? No, there's the special result. There's 41. See, again, so that's offside for him. We had that result earlier, right? Don't you remember that? We had 54 and then 41. So, indirect kick, B2. So, in B, it'll be Milivojevic. Can he get a double? No, he does not. 21 in B, though, is going to be B4. So, Kabai in B. 12 is 22 in B5. Van Aanholt in B. 61, 25 in B is going to be B3. So, they get some possession here. Back to MacArthur. 33 in B will be a shot for him. And add 3, that's, let's see, it was from Van Aanholt. No assist bump, but you do get a 3 bump from the zone. So, that's a 35. And it's a missed shot for MacArthur. Will it result in the corner? Nope, goalkeeper outlet. So Stoke trying to get something going here. Grant gets it up to Crouch. in F. And 44. That's 31 in F. He's a forward, but he can't get away, and the defense catches up with him, and they block it into F, and Stoke does retain it. Allen gets it in F. 56. 24 in F. That'll be F7. Shawcross. So 22. That'll be Shawcross taking it to E. 27 in E is going to be F7. So still Shawcross with it. Sticking right to him. And now he's offside. So, okay. Another change for the Eagles. And they're going to bring in Bakari Sacco. And he will replace James MacArthur. So midfielder for midfielder here in the 72nd minute. Time's kind of slowing down here. We just got to do some adjustments. He has an offensive rating of 3, so he's going to slide in right ahead of Schlupp in position 6. Just trying to go a little more defensive. But they're still keeping plenty of scoring threat there. So this is was an offside, so an indirect kick D1. Zaha and D, 26, and he's fouled. Foul suffered in D by Mame Biram Doof, and no card there. He's getting close to a second yellow there. If he doesn't watch it, he's already... Well, actually, no, he doesn't have a first yellow. I was thinking of it's Crouch and Peters have yellows. We've had 6 cards so far in the match. 4 for Crystal Palace, 2 for Stoke. So a little bit of... getting a little ornery here. So free kick in D. Pass to C. And it'll be Fosu-Mensah. 43 in C, and he commits a foul. On 5. 1, 2, 3. Zuma. So it was Fosu-Mensah. Well, and he's going to get a yellow. This is the 74th minute, so we got 5 of them for Palace. So a free kick from X, D, 7. Shawcross and D, 55. Will not earn anything there. So, but it will get it up to Shaqiri indeed. Shaqiri has not had much of the ball here today. So 33 in D is going to be a defensive chance. And it's going to stay with the lower team, so that is a block to F. And it will be F8. So that'll be Peters. 56 in F. 38. That's going to be a defensive chance. 35 header to D, and the lower team keeps it. So they're moving a little bit farther. You get 2, well, it's going to be 10. You get 2 66s in a row there. So Jeff Cameron, the American, in D, right? 16. That's 30 in D. That's going to be the E6. Zuma in E, 31. And that's out of bounds. So a lot of possession, but no real chances derived. 78th minute. The the Potters will make their final substitution. They're going to be Jesse, another forward. And let's see. They're going to remove Jeff Cameron. So, let's do the counting here. 2, 4, 6, 7, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So, it's not like Stoke can drop their team defense anymore. They're already a 1. So, all right. So that was a throw-in. There is one more sub for Palace. They'll wait till stoppage time in case they need a sub. And if anybody watched, sorry, I'm just standing up here. I'm getting a little sore in my back. What game was it yesterday I was watching? Oh, man. Oh, it was in the championship. Oh, it was Leeds and Sheffield. Leeds United, Sheffield United. And Leeds United had their keeper sent off right at the end. And they had to have their central defender who had been injured put on the goalie shirt to play the last few minutes because last man foul. So, it's probably good to... and let me see. I can't remember if I turned that for the throw-in, so we're just going to do it again anyway. So, throw into F, 8. And so, Fosu Mensah, 15. It's 21 in F. That's E7. They're going to try to get it up to Milivojevic in E, and they get it there because of the Stoke has 4-3-3. So Milivojevic in E. That's 22 in E. That'll be D7. Schlupp, D41. That's 40 in D is going to be a defensive chance. So they're 1 rated. So that's blocked D, and it goes to the other team. So X. 4, Allen and X, 21, 33 and X is defense. Header to F, taken by Crystal Palace, so they take it in X for Van Aanholt, defender. 37 and X is going to be a header to B. Can they win the header? Need an H. They get it. So there's a header to B, and it's 2. So Milivojevic in B. 52, though. It's 48. He commits a foul on player 7. 1. So 11, 10, 9, 8. So it'll be Peters who suffers the foul. And that was who? That was Milivojevic. He is already on a yellow, but he avoids another one. All right, they have... Well, they're gonna hold off there, but man, that was close. They shouldn't be in any danger, so that is a direct kick from X. C2. So it'll be Diouf and C. 43, that's he commits a foul. That's his 3rd foul. Suffered by 1. That'll be Milivojevic, and no card there for Diouf. All right, free kick in X. C2. All right, so Milivojevic and C. 54, that's a special result. 62. Out of bounds, throw in. So we're going to add 30 seconds to whatever I roll. So it's out of bounds, throw in D1. So Shaqiri and D. Let's see, what do they have for clutch points? 3. So they can't get an easy shot on goal. That's what I'm holding on to for Palace, either that or for a red card. Because with 5, they can get a red card rescinded. So Shaqiri in D, 39 in D is going to be a defensive chance generated by Palace. 36, it's a header to D, and Stoke keeps it. D3, Choupo-Moting. 7 in D, this will be a shot. So 31, can they get a shot on goal here? They do not. Choupo misses the net. Can they get a corner kick out? Nope, it's a goalkeeper outlet. To D, D4. So Van Aanholt in D, 61. That's 25 in D, D5. Tompkins in D, 44. That's 22 in D. Can't get the shot because doesn't have a shot number in there. Milivojevic in D, 32, 28 in D. That's E4. Van Aanholt in E, 13. That's 46. That'll be out of bounds. So to the 90th minute, we're going to roll. One or 4 is 4 minutes. Or no, we're going to do 1 or 4 is 3. 2 or 5 is 4. 3 or 6 is 5 minutes of stoppage time. Well, and it's 5. It's off the screen. So that's going to be 4 minutes of stoppage time plus 30 seconds. So throw in. E6, Zuma, 31. Oh, that's out of bounds as well. So the last substitute will be made. And let's see. The Eagles are going to bring out Schlupp, bring in Loftus-Cheek, try and maybe keep a little more possession. So could have brought in Benteke, but just to slide the defender Van Aanholt back down into a lower number, really. Plus 1 minute, and that's going to bring out Schlupp minus 1 minute. Could have brought out Fosu Mensah as well, but Schlupp will come out. Alright, so throw in Crystal Palace. That will be into D, 7. Sacco in D. 25, 31 in D is going to be F6. Tompkins in F, 22. 4 in F is going to be a shot. He is a 34 rated guy. Actually, what they're going to do is they're going to use their clutch points. All 5 of them go to an automatic shot on goal. Well, an almost automatic. So they're going to use them all here. So now what we do is we roll a card. So I'll show you the book here. Your clutch points. You get a 92. If you use 5 on offense, you can use them for a 92% shot on goal chance. So if it's 64, 65, or 66, which it's not. So this is a shot on goal for Tompkins. And can Grant save it? Can they get a cheapie here at the end? 24, that is a goal. Goal. And they get 1 more for insurance. That will be Tompkins in stoppage time, 90 plus 2. Assist by 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's no assist. So 4-0. So Stoke fully embarrassed. kickoff D1. So Shaqiri 26. That's a foul in D. And it's going to be by the goalie. Well, so Speroni with a foul committed. No card though. But so this is in D. They only have 3, so they can't really do much with that. So it's a pass to B. 6. So that's to Crouch. 33 in B. Okay, well this is going to be a shot for Crouch, and he's going to add 3, and it came from Shaqiri, right? It was off a free kick, so you're going to take 33, you're going to add 3 for Shaqiri's assist, makes 36, and then you add another 3 for area B. So it makes it 43, and it's 66. It's off target. Missed shot, and it's wide. It's a goal kick. So let's do a quick shuffle them up, cut them once. I'm going to have to shuffle them again anyway. So this is the kickoff, or the goal kick, D. It doesn't matter. The whistle blows. That's it. 2 more goals in the second half for Palace. 4-0 is your final. As Stoke looking like the team that they ended up being in this season, where they got relegated. So if you can see down here, goals by Zaha in the 25th minute, Shawcross own goal in the 42nd, 55th minute for Townsend, and then they tack one on in the 2nd minute of second half stoppage time with Tompkins. 4-0. Shots total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots for Palace, and 4 of them were on target. So that means 4 and 2 in the second half for them. And then in the second half, 4 shots, none of them on target, and that's what they had for the game for Stoke. So, they may have needed to play a more aggressive tactic to even have a shot, and maybe I'll use that as a guiding light. But of course, when you do that and you don't get your shots on goal, then you're going to be giving up shots, and that's what happened here. They gave up 2 goals. There's 9, 10, 15, 17, 18, 19, 24, 29, 30, 35, 40, 45, 49. So that's 197 total. So from the 49, there was 98, 99. That's 50. So 98. So pretty much 50-50 here, right? As far as possession goes, Stoke City not very opportunistic with the chances that they did have, and they had a few. The cards didn't really help them out much. So I'm going to do a little bit of a camera adjustment here. And let's take a look here. 4-0. Yep. Yeah. See you, Al and Bob, Allie Bobs and Alan. So what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to finish out this game day. I think I have 3 more games to go, maybe 4. And I'm going to have to put this game away for a little bit. And you might ask why. And I think a lot of it is just that it's a lot to play at one time. If you're playing a game week, and I did 2 weeks in a row here, and so I'm going to have to do this in little spurts where I do a game week, take a week or two off, do another game week, take a week or two off, and just kind of try and manage the amount of fatigue that you can get from playing this particular game, because it's a little bit, it's kind of like, it's like second season. I think binging hard, on any one game of this style. Excuse me, man. A little chilly for lunch, and yeah. I think it can be tough. I think you can start to see see dots. I don't know. It starts to go at you a little bit, if you know what I mean. Like the more intense a game, it can be fun, but it can also be the type of thing that's fun when you haven't dealt with it for a little bit of time. You need a little bit of time away. And I'm going to do the rest of these games offline for this match week. I've got, Tabletop Earl's putting out a lot of baseball videos. And, I'd like to be keeping up with him as far as the videos go. And I think I'm going to have to go back to baseball for a little while to sort of like get back into a little bit of rhythm. I would like to finish up this match week before I go and do that, but I just have to play it by the way I want to. So the way that it makes me kind of feel like I'm making progress and not getting bogged down. Although this game helped. When you have 0-0 games, I think that can kind of, I don't want to say affect you negatively, but I think it kind of like leaves you feeling a little empty, especially if it's 0-0 and there's not a whole lot of shots either on goal or off target. If you're not getting those, I think, it kind of makes you feel like you're doing these rolls for nothing. And, what's the point? Which I think, that could be one of the things you think about soccer to begin with is, if you watch a game, now the game I watched yesterday between Leeds and Sheffield, I mean, it was a great game. It was 1-0, but it was a great game because there were lots of chances. Goalie made some saves for each side. There was some drama. They're playing for promotion to the Premier League, and and then you have this case where there's a professional foul by the goalie. It's what's called last man foul. It's an automatic red card. And they had no more subs, so they had to, like I said, move a defender into goal. He had to wear the goalie shirt. But the thing is that Leeds still had a chance even after that, because that gave them a free kick. It was outside the box, so it wasn't a penalty. It was a free kick, and I think they hit the wall with it or something like that. So then there was another 5 to 6 minutes, something like that, where it was still 1-0 Sheffield United, and Leeds was still attacking, and in fact I would say, if you would translate that to the tabletop here and how we play this game, you'd have Leeds in 4-3-3 and you had Sheffield in 4-5-1, and so they were just taking it to them. And I guess if that may be, I'd like to start developing some impressions from games that are sort of like constructive criticism. And I think for this game here, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe that's where the clutch points are supposed to come in, is to try and make it feel as though when a team is behind that they're able to push. But I don't necessarily see in this game where you really feel like when you have things spelled out on a card where you see how many shot chances are available or this or that. If you look at a bench and you say, man, who am I going to bring off the bench to help change this game? It can be kind of tough in this game. If you've got all of your offensive talent in the game to begin with, then why would you make changes? I mean, are you just going to make changes to make changes? I mean, that doesn't make much sense. But in soccer, you kind of make changes because players are tired. And in this game, I would say there's really no There's no simulation of fatigue. And there's really no way to really kind of up the intensity that you kind of feel from the behind team. So let's say Stoke City when they're down 2-0. Well, they got like 3 or 4 chances there. But it may not be quite enough to really suit. Now, maybe if a good team gets behind, then it really feels like that. And that might be the difference, is that Stoke's just not that good. So, disastrous result being a Wednesday fan. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that's. But see, that was a good football game. That a good football game can actually be 0-0, but you can have a lot of drama. You can have guys running free and goalies making big saves and a little bit of tactical foul here and there. Good defense, last ditch defensive blocks and tackles and things that are clean. I mean, there's lots of ways that a game, you can have tactic switches where you're seeing one team going up and down the pitch with the ball, and then all of a sudden the other team makes a switch, and they just get a little bit of extra joy, and then you see that things start to kind of like turn the other way. It's pretty amazing. You put a guy that's influential from the wing out into the center, but sometimes that really helps you. Sometimes you have to move him out to the wing, and then that helps you. It's just there's lots of things that can go on, and it's just. And then you do have some games that are just like, just a bunch of crosses in from the outside that the defense headed away every time, and there were no really brilliant passes or anything like that, and so. But okay, well, I don't want to take too much more of your time. So just a few more games to close out match week 3. This game is going to go away for a couple weeks. Try to get back into the Tenacious Baseball League, and I'm looking forward to the release of the fictional golfer set from Play, and we might be able to start thinking about doing a second generation of Tenacious Golf Tour after that. So, till then, this is Tenacious Earl signing off. Crystal Palace defeats Stoke City 4-0. Undefeated so far, Palace, but it's a long way to go in this AltPrem season. See you next time.